This is Unit 4, Block 1. We're doing Example 8. We're going to do an example here with a real-world application involving these definite integrals we've been talking about. So in Example 8, it says that we have the marginal profit function. R of x is negative 2x plus 75, where x is the number of items sold. R of x is the marginal profit in dollars per item. So notice R of x is a rate function. We really can think of R of x as the derivative of the profit function. So in part A, it asks us to calculate the value of this definite integral, the integral from 0 to 3750 of R of x dx. Now I've already graphed here the function R of x. R of x is a linear function. It's got slope -2. It's got y-intercept 7500, so it's going down. It intersects the x-axis at 3750. This definite integral that we're being asked to calculate, this definite integral would be the area between this rate function and the x-axis between x equals 0 and x equals 3750. Notice the rate function is entirely above the x-axis on that interval. So we're really finding the area of this triangle. And it is all positive because it's all above the x-axis. So this area will give us the definite integral value that we're being asked to find. So the integral from 0 to 3750 r of x dx. In this case, it'll be 1/2 base times height because it's a triangle. The base of that triangle is 3750. I'm also going to include the units. That's 3750 items, because that's what the x's represent. The height of that triangle is 7500. The units of the height of this triangle are dollars per item. So dollars in the numerator divided by items, dollars per item. Notice in our unit calculations, items in the numerator cancels out with items in the denominator. 14062500. So 14,062,500, and the units of that are dollars. Remember, when you calculate a definite integral of this rate function, it tells us the accumulated change in that original profit function. It's positive, so it's saying from 0 items to 3,750 items, the profit increased $14,062,500. In part B, it asks us to do much the same, but this time it says find the definite integral from x is 3750 up to x is 5000. This time I'm going to go ahead and just use the same graph we had above, but I'll do it in green on my shading above. So this definite integral, we're finding the area between the rate function and the x-axis from 3750 over to 5000, which will be down here below the x-axis. So we're finding this area, but since it's below the x-axis entirely, this area of this triangle will need to be counted negative when we actually find the integral value. So we'll find the area of this triangle, but we understand that the definite integral is actually negative. So the area of this triangle is 1/2 base times height. The base of this triangle spans from x is 3750 up to x is 5000. So the base of this triangle is 1250. Again, that's in units of items because that's the units of x. The height of the function on this triangle is the height of the function when you plug in x is 5000. So let's go up here to our function and find out the value. When you plug 5000 into the rate function, r of 5000, remember our rate function was negative 2x plus 7500, so it's negative 2 times 5000 plus 7500, which is negative 10,000 plus 7500, negative 2500. So the height of the triangle is negative 2500. Triangle lengths can't be negative, but rate functions can be negative. Definite integrals can be negative. So I am including that negative here in my calculation because I know this definite integral is coming out negative. The units on this are dollars per item. Again, items in the numerator cancels with items in the denominator. We multiplied 0.5 times 1250 times 2500. It is negative, comes to negative 1562500. So negative 1,562,500. The units are dollars. It's saying when they increase from selling 3750 items up to selling 5,000 items, their profit actually decreases $1,562,500. All right, and lastly, it says that we're asked to calculate the definite integral from 0 to 5,000. So really it's putting it all together again. We calculated it from 0 to 3750, then we calculated from 3750 to 5,000, and the definite integral from 0 to 5,000 will equal the definite integral from 0 to 3750 plus the definite integral from 3750 to 5,000. So we need to take our two answers above and add them together. So the first one was 14,062,500, and the second one was negative 1,562,500. So the profit went up, then the profit went down. Overall, when we add them together, we get a positive 12500,000. So overall, increasing from 0 items sold to 5,000 items sold, overall their profit increases $12,500,000.